Well, Gaffer, the game's finished here. It's ended in defeat. What are the thoughts on the performance as a whole?
I'm going to take a lot of positives out of that performance. I think we've come to a side that are flying. They're not. You don't sit at the top of the division by accident, and they're a well-organised side, experienced side, and I think. Well, no, I don't think. I've watched a game today where we can compete in many areas of facets of the game with the best in this division. But we've got to keep the ball out of our net. As simple as that. I mean, ultimately, we've had fine margins at 0-0. We've had a really good couple of penalty shouts. We hit the bar in the second half. We've had one cleared off the line, and these all sound like hard luck stories. But it's a group of lads who've had one training session together, and to be thrown together like they were, there was probably one or two surprise people to start games. So I'm going to take the positives. I thought we reacted really well to the disappointment of going 1 and 2-0 down, and I thought we just took it to them second half. And I think if you ask their guy, they've had to make changes to alter their shape, to put more men at the back of the pitch to stop us coming forward. But I didn't think, the sparklers, if you like, who were held back to go on and sparkle, didn't quite sparkle as much as I thought they would.
You talk about the fine margins there. On another day, we could have had a penalty. On another day, a couple of those chances could have gone in. Is that sort of classic? The teams at the top, the luck goes their way, the luck doesn't go ours.
Yeah, I actually thought the officials had a good game. I thought it was a good game. I thought I thought they had a great energy from the start then, and we knew that. Belanta is a good player. He gave us problems by getting into pockets between the back lads. And like I said, we can fundamentally put our finger on why they scored a goal. Now, we can work on that, but there's 5 elements to scoring every goal that I've ever seen in my life, and we are good at 3 and 4 of them. But the last one is selflessness. If everybody doesn't mind who scores a goal, then we'll score more goals. And every striker who I've ever worked with will tell you, I never ever put pressure on them as an individual to score. But I know players, certainly the ones I inherited at this club, feel that it's their only job is to score goals. But I'm really positive coming off of that performance there. If I was an alien dropped in here today, you would never have known there was however many places between us and Hornchurch. But I completely understand why they are where they are.
Well, looking forward then, what needs to be done to get this team working the way they need to work and scoring the goals they need to score.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I'm confident that we're building in the right way. We didn't make massive changes. We've given people opportunities to mould into the way we play and the way we work. Look, there's more players now in the team that I've brought here than weren't. So ultimately, that's going to be given a little bit of time. But I told the 3 lads who went in today, I said, look, I don't want you to have a bedding-in period. I want you to come in and grab the bull by the horns. I thought goal would give us a completely different dimension. And I thought both Will and Lackey, for the most part, did really well. But like I said, we've got point fingers at people for goals, and I never do it publicly, but the lads in there know exactly why we conceded the goals. And we've got to be positive. It's as simple as that. I said it a couple of weeks ago when we had Horsham come to us. Our battles aren't with the Horshams, unfortunately, and the Worthings of this season. Our battles are around us. And like I said, I don't particularly look at anything other than our performance, our output, and ultimately, on another day, that is not a 2-0 game.
And like you said there, I was about to ask, the battles around us. The next game then, looking ahead, Farnborough, a team down there with us, that will be one that is looking like one we maybe have to win.
Yeah, well, I don't think we're at that stage yet, but I don't understand why people say, it's a must-win game and it's a massive game, but that only puts pressure on players. I mean, at the end of the day, it's another 90 minutes and there's 3 points available, and then I think there's 18 games left after that. So, look, as a manager and a staff, we will approach Farnborough exactly as we approached Hornchurch. What we want us to eradicate the little errors, and that's what they were. There were little errors that gave a good side an opportunity to get their noses in front. What I will say is that the reaction from my lads at half-time, even from the second goal, I thought we actually took it to them really, really positively, and I've been absolutely delighted, as daft as that sounds, because people who know me knows I don't like losing a tiddlywinks match. I've lost a football match, but I've actually come away thinking, you know what, that was positive, more positive than the result that shows.
Well, just finally then, is there any message you want to give to the Tranmere
Yeah,
support?
I'll tell you what again, and I know, because quite rightly, after the Horsham game, which was 2-0, we got a little bit of bird off the fans. Quite rightly, I didn't think it was a good enough performance myself. The players felt, I didn't really speak a lot to the players after that game. That's when we felt we needed to make some changes. After today, 99.9% of the fans have called me on the way past them on the track and said, Tom, well done, you played well. And, you know, the vast majority of football supporters know what they're watching, and they know when we've put out a team there that could have won that game. Now, I'm not a coulda, woulda, shoulda type of bloke, but in another couple of weeks, I will be expecting to come away from somewhere like this with a point, having played like that for the vast majority of the game like we did.